Dajahao, my name is Garrick, and welcome back to Taiwan, Lao Wai. How are you doing this fine evening? Hopefully better than me, because I am frickin' starving. I once again made the mistake of eating basically nothing all day for God knows what reason, and now it's past 6 o'clock and my stomach is not in a good place. I really am my own worst enemy most of the time. Oh well, on the bright side, that means we have plenty of room in the belly to head out and eat something delicious. And I figure it's about time we head back to a night market. It's been a while since I've done a night market video, so I think it is definitely high time we got that back in gear. And this time we're heading to what's probably the biggest night market in my immediate neighborhood, the Zhongli Night Market. Zhongli District is to the west of Taoyuan City. It's like the big, I guess, business district or something. It is one of the most populous areas of the city and its surrounding areas. Taoyuan isn't really a tourist destination, but if there is any place to go on tourism when you're in the area, it's to go to Zhongli and to go shopping and check out the big, gigantic night market they have. Supposedly, it's got like 400 separate food stalls, which kind of blows my mind a little. I also haven't really been to Zhongli District that much overall. I think I popped by for like a split second in one of my videos way back when, but I have not really been there, and I definitely have not showed it to you, night market or otherwise. So I think it's time to fix that. We're gonna hop on a bike, we're gonna head down to the night market, and fill this hole in our belly with a smorgasbord of delicious dinner. It's gonna be great, we're gonna have a good time. See you on the road. Alright folks, we are neck deep in the middle of Zhongli District right now. As a matter of fact, we are taking this gorgeous bridge over the river. This is a place I have definitely never been. Oh boy. From here on, the sights are gonna be new to me as well as new to you. This does look like a pretty happening hip place just from what little I've walked around so far. Clearly, I need to come here more often, and I need to do some research on what other cool things are going on here. Those can wait for another day. For now, night market awaits. Alright folks, we've made it. That's the sign for the Zhongli Night Market right there. I sort of had the impression this would be another covered market like the Shengren Garden Market, but nope. This is definitely looking like an outdoor affair. I'm starting to get claustrophobic already. This is gonna be a very packed evening. So, without any further ado, let's dive in and see what looks tasty. Alright, first notch of the night, we got ourselves these starchy shrimp pork dumpling thingies. They're not exactly dumplings because the wrapper is different. It's more of like this sticky mochi-like starch paste than a dumpling wrapper. But they're very tasty from what I've had. Hopefully these will be good too. have to forgive me. I polished those off camera. Listen, I'm sorry, but I was very hungry and there is no good place to sit down, so I had to jump in a little bit. But yeah, those are delicious, super unctuous, super salty. The filling, I think, was a mix of pork, shrimp, and cuttlefish all together, which was very nice. And the wrapper is, of course, the most interesting part. It's sort of like a sticky, mochi-esque wonton wrapper more than anything else. They're very good if you see them at any night market or food stand you go to. Definitely try them at least once. It was 60 NTD for 5, and I think that whets my appetite very well for the feast to come. This is a very long line for what looks like dumplings over there. Can't quite tell, but if there are people lining up in cordons here, then it must be worth trying, yeah? Right, that didn't take too long, maybe about 12-15 minutes or thereabouts. You could see they were making new dumplings fresh on the spot, so clearly they're pouring a lot of love into these. First things first, though, I need to get out of this traffic jam and find a place to sit already. Okay, Jesus Christ, we managed to get into a side street. It's so friggin' packed. Oh, Xiaolong Bao! These definitely feel a little fancier than your typical night market dumplings, what with the chef coats they were wearing, and the fact they were pretty pricey too at 90 NTD. So I'm very excited. There were two options. You could get the regular or the spicy. We're just gonna get the regular tonight, and maybe another night we'll come back and try the spicy. Well, alright then. That's got something. That's a very pure flavor. There's not a lot of like extra spices or veggies or whatever. It's just pure pork umami in here. Hot damn, that's good. Absolutely worth the wait. 100%. Right. So the reason it was so crazy trying to figure out how to eat in there is because it is a constantly moving conveyor belt of people. The way it works, the aisle you're walking down is so narrow that you pretty much have to just keep walking unless you're stopping at a stall. There's nowhere to sit, there's not a lot of places to peel off, so there's not a lot of chances to sit down and film myself efficiently. So I think what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to get a big haul and we're gonna have to carry it to the end of the night market, and then I'm gonna lay my feast before me and devour it all together. Sounds good? Sounds good. Okay. Christ almighty, these are good. Alright, well, we had to get some watermelon juice, right? It's not a night market without watermelon juice. Oh, that's good stuff. This has got plenty of the natural pulp and sweetness in here, so it's super sweet and super fruity. It's a big cup, 50 NTD, but well worth it. Something to cook, so we're gonna pause and eat a sausage. Always surprises me how sweet Taiwanese sausages are. It's like breakfast sausage on steroids is the best way I would describe it. Super tender too, like I don't think it's coming across very well in this video, but when I bite into this, it really just sort of falls apart in chunks in my mouth. Not bad for 40 NTD, not bad at all. God, we escaped. We made it to the end of the first row, finally. This thing isn't a night market, it's a marathon. I feel like I just ran 20 miles. Anyway, snagged 2 more skewers before the roll. I got some skewers. I'm gonna shut up. Let's eat them. Right, pretty sure this one is the Matsutaka pig, which is a kind of mountain boar that's native to Taiwan, I believe. It's much porkier than the normal pork you're probably familiar with. If you go to like rural communities in Taiwan or small villages, you will probably find this on the menu at restaurants somewhere. It's a staple of indigenous cuisines across the island. This, on the other hand, is beef short rib, which I imagine is a bit more familiar to you. It's super tender. I sort of played myself a little because these are both the expensive skewers at the stand I went to. So, I ended up spending 90 NTD on these two thin little sticks. But they were cooked fresh, and they are friggin' delicious, so can't complain too much. I think it was a mistake getting two dumplingy things right at the start, because those sit really heavy in your stomach. I do still have room, I just don't know how much, and clearly, this is not a place where you can sample everything in a single night, or even a single year, maybe. Well, we're still gonna circle back down the second aisle, see what else looks interesting, see what else we're in the mood for, and I think we're gonna end this night on a high note. Cheers. Alright, well, we had to get the ice cream egg waffle. We had to. Comes with 2 scoops, too. I went for a scoop of caramel and a scoop of mint chocolate. The nice thing about the second row is that there are a lot more places to pop out onto the street and pop a squat when you need to eat. It's gonna be impossible to eat this without getting messy, so we're getting messy. That was a bad idea, give me a sec. Alright, proper spoon etiquette. We even got the big chocolate biscuit in the middle. Let's see how this goes. The lighting's terrible here, I am so sorry. Fuck, that's really good caramel ice cream. It's like super caramelly. Super good mint chocolate too. Mint comes through very clear. It was impossible to film this and eat this properly at the same time. This is a very classic Taiwanese street waffle if you haven't seen this before. They have these molds where, in case you can see, the batter goes into little egg shapes. So it forms these little nest of waffle eggs that you can either eat on their own or you can put stuff like ice cream to sit in them. Either way, I guaranteed a good time. Also, this is not the last thing I'm eating. I know it is super dessert, but we never do things rationally here, so we will eat more. God, this is a gauntlet. It took like an hour to get through the first row, and I know it was like stopping and filming at points, so, you know, but even so, I guess all this food is a reward for braving the trials. Cheers to that. Is the second row is proving a lot easier to get through. It's much less food focused than the first row. There's a lot more shops, you know, selling accessories, clothes, and then, you know, little carnival games for the kids, that sort of thing. So if nothing else, it does make it a lot easier coming back. God, I reached the end of the second row. It's technically a third row. Oh man! Alright, maybe it's a bit less of a row and more of like a few stragglers on the outside, but still, I am extremely full at the moment, but I do want to try out at least one more thing. I mean, we biked all this way, we may as well get our money's worth, yeah? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, wow, it was packed in there. So I think it's safe to say we're gonna need to head back to the Zhongli Night Market at some point soon. There's too darn much to explore there. We only touched a tiny bit of it. It is insane how many food stalls there are there. It is insane how crowded it gets. But we will brave the crowds because the food is flippin' delicious and worth it. Speaking of, hey, we got some noodles. Here's our last bite for the night. Yes, they're cold noodles in a bag, sue me. 55 NTD for this, which I believe brings my grand total for the evening up to 475 NTD. This is not a cheap night market. It is definitely a bit tourist-oriented, but it is top-notch across the board. Also, there is no shot I'm finishing these noodles tonight. I am bringing some home for leftovers tomorrow. Let me just find a place to pop a squat real quick so I can take a bite or two and see how it tastes. And then I think we can call this video done. Also, check it out. It looks like we are passing by a closed day market right here. It's very clever. They can have all the farmers selling their produce and meat and stuff during the day, and then it turns into the night market right across the street during the night. In fact, it looks like a couple stalls might still be open over here. Fascinating. This is what I talk about when I say research. Clearly, there is cool shit over here that I need to explore as well. Ooh, okay, with that said, let's try these nudes, shall we? And we gotta switch hands because, of course, I cannot use my chopsticks well if I'm filming with my left hand. Not sure what flavor profile to expect here. Maybe something a little spicy and saucy. Let's find out. Lots of stuff going on there. It's definitely a bit spicy. I feel it hitting the back of my throat as we speak. But it's very nutty as well. Like there's a strong presence of not peanut, but something of that nature. It's much more spicy and savory than it is salty, but I do not dislike it. Plus, noodles are super long and they're super fun to slurp. What a satisfying night this has been. So that is the Zhongli Night Market. At least it's the part of it that I am able to taste in a single night, which is not a lot of it, if I'm being honest. I can see why it has the reputation it does. There is just such an overload of different kinds of food to try, and different variants on the same food to try. So we'll be paying this place another visit before long, mark my words. For now, though, I think it is time to take one last bite and then head home. Those are really good. I'm not even joking, they were super good. Once again, thank you for joining me at Taiwan Lao Wai. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell, and share with your friends, all that good stuff. Probably won't be too long before I pay this night market a second visit, so keep an eye out for that. And as always, I'll see you next time. 再见. Bye-bye.